All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bird Nest. Today, we will be talking about Waves, Neutrino, USDN, and this whole market debacle. What is happening with Waves? Is it Ponzi? Is it not? Can it hold its peg? What is it even? Why does Neutrino matter for Waves? And we'll be breaking down some of these threads that have been circulating on Twitter. We'll be breaking down whether or not it's true, it's fake, it's just FUD. Um, Overall, we'll be covering the fundamentals that back this project and if it stands for itself and if the FUD is real. Can we trust the FUD, or can we be sure in potentially shorting this project because it just doesn't add up, and shorting is justified. Welcome back. We'll be covering waves, and as we can see, it's already down 20%. If you were in the nest, if you were in the Discord, you would have been notified on this. We have been tracking the developments. We have been keeping up with everything that's happening. Some people even managed to get in on a short right around $50. Where's $50? Right here, right near the top. You'd be about 20% in profit right now. But hey, that's not why we're here. We're gonna break down, is this dump justified? Is it gonna keep coming down? What's happening with waves? So to get started, OXHamZ has done a wonderful thread already on why this is a Ponzi. I won't read through the whole thread for you guys because it is a lot of content, but I will break it down as much as possible, and then we will uh, follow some of the links, some of the quoted information to kind of confirm if this information is trustworthy or not. So let's break down first off, what is Waves? What's going on here? So Waves is essentially a layer one blockchain. It is very similar to something like Luna or MakerDAO, as it creates its own stablecoin, USDN. So, unlike Luna and MakerDAO, Waves has a different function on how it mints that stablecoin. Waves is locked up and used as collateral to mint USDN. And then Waves is staked. That staked Waves earns an APR. That means that USDN can earn interest. You have to do things like put it into a money market like Vyers Finance, which is the Waves Aave money market style. So that is how you can actually earn pretty high interest on USDN. Right now, it pays right around 20% APR, 11 in Vyers. So this is why you're getting these crazy deals on Vyers. However, um, one of the big issues with Waves is that in order to mint USDN, you need the price of Waves to be going up because you need a higher market cap in order to justify minting more USDN. So let's break down this whole Ponzi scheme that Hamzy was talking about. So essentially, the Waves market cap has done almost 6x in 2 months. That means that they were able to lock up Waves and mint more USDN. So at the moment, USDN is backed by almost two Waves, or 2.5 in collateral for every $1, which seems normal and justified. However, um, not when you see what is happening. So what is happening? Initially, the Waves team was using this virus platform to provide USDN, borrow USDT or USDC, and when they borrowed, they would take it over to Binance. We can actually track their movements right here. They would take it over to Binance, deposit on Binance, and buy Waves. So as you can see, 7 million USD coin were transferred. So that's USDC were transferred. Um, what were they doing? Again, because they have access to the minting of USDN through Waves, they would mint USDN, lock up more Waves, go over here, borrow USDT against it, move USDT onto Binance, and buy Waves on the market, thus pumping the price higher. How do we know this price was pumped? Well, we can actually look at the price chart over here. um, it's just been a crazy straight up. If we kind of zoom out a little bit, we have these very volatile movements where suddenly we have these jumps in price all around, just ginormous jumps in price. What are those due to? Well, market buying. Whenever you have a protocol market buying your own coin, you're going to have a market jump, a price jump. So the market cap even reached almost $4 billion, but as we can see, it's starting to show flaws. Why is it starting to show flaws? Well, let's look at their stablecoin. That's not stable. Wow, 9% pullback on a stablecoin that's supposed to be pegged 1 to 1 to the US dollar is not good. As we can see over the past 3 months, it's not the best stablecoin out there. It really is not. If you compare it to UST, that is algorithmic. If you compare it to DAI, that is collateralized. If you compare it to Tether and USDC, that say they have reserves, USDN just isn't cutting it. This is not a proper stable. It seemed to be doing pretty well for a while, but now it's just had a turn for the worse. And as we can see, this dump is just very bad. A depeg of this scale is not only bad for USDN, but it also means that all this USDN that was deposited here has lost its peg. And even though you borrowed USDT against it, if you don't have a peg, you could potentially get liquidated. And if you get liquidated, you're going to be losing all this money that was originally used to buy more waves, that was holding up the price. So what is happening? Some interesting information over here. If we actually zoom, kind of scroll and see what's happening, he breaks down how Virus, being the Aave, holds a lot of money. It holds a lot of USDN on the platform, and it also holds USDC and USDT. So current USDT supply rates are 30%. It pays pretty well for people to borrow or to provide USDC or USDT. Um, However, borrowing has gone crazy, as we can see from these charts, because the protocol started borrowing that USDC and USDT. It's not just users, the protocol went in, started using their own money. And we already checked it over here. APR is just ridiculous by supplying USDC and USDT. And even borrowing, it pays pretty well. But if we actually go into it, it seems that they're actually, look at this just crazy jump in borrowing and supply. It's just been going straight up. Something that is worth noting, if this crashes and USDN goes down, wave crashes, if you think, hey, I'm just gonna be in there, I'm impartial, I just want to earn that crazy APR on my stable coins. Well, if Waves crashes, you're just gonna lose those stable coins as well, because the whole protocol is gonna come down and you're not gonna be able to retrieve that money because everything essentially crashed. So total supply and total debt are equal. That means there's more debt now than there is supply. That means there isn't enough supply to meet the debt. That's actually really bad looking at the information here, because it means they're not even able to keep up with the debt. Supply is under collateralized, and that is probably what is leading to this depeg of USDN. If we kind of go down the rest of the thread to understand what else is happening, we can see how they were supplying. Waves can use a lot of money in USDN before it breaches the target backing. So this has to do with the type of backing that USDN and Waves has been doing. Um, and they were able to move over onto Virus to borrow money. Um, so it's just crazy because the daily transactions have really exploded when we see when they do this money, when they do these transactions, whenever they look to issue. So every 2 days, we can actually track exactly what the protocol did. Waves would issue USDN, they would borrow USDC, and buy Waves to create a spike. So we can actually track this in the chart. They would be these crazy price spikes that were these constant buys from the protocols, clearly just buying off the market. And we could see the price spikes on Binance even because we would see when they would buy every 2 days. And it was just very clear how the price was pumping unrealistically. Um, so here's just kind of TLDR on this whole video so far. Waves has no traction. There's not enough people using the protocol to justify the amount of growth in one USDN as well as Waves. It's not healthy, even though initially it did pump with the Ukrainian invasion, because the head developer is actually Ukrainian. This was part of the narrative, but after that, it seems they clung onto it. Russian Ethereum narrative was also a big thing. Um, so the team took advantage of this kind of hype wave they were riding, and they recklessly started buying waves to kind of pump their own coin. Um, so this has been pretty bad, and there's even been circulation of like, oh, this is just fake. It's FUD campaigns to trigger panic from Alameda Research. Sam SBF, who is the head of FTX and Alameda, came out and said it's a conspiracy theory. Um, you don't want to have kind of the main guy you're calling out just saying it's a conspiracy theory. And then we look at what's happening. Like right here, neutrino collateral is being sold. That's pretty bad. Waves is being added, neutrino is being sold. What does this mean? What does it mean when they're selling? It means it's real. So late crypto was also has been talking about this, and we've been able to see how he's been tracking partly the price and the backing, and it's showing how the whole whales pump just sold 300 million USDN in spot waves through Neutrino after selling 38 million yesterday. So they've been selling consistently in spot waves, um, trying to get more Neutrino and trying to justify that price again. So moving forward, what's going to happen? What are we to do? Well, most importantly, we have to see one, if this peg is going to recover. So far, it's not looking pretty. If this peg recovers, then we could potentially see a rebound in the waves token. However, looking at the waves chart, it's been coming down pretty hard. We had a high of $60, but since then it has been a pretty steady downhill. Yesterday it was shared in the Nest group, so make sure you join Burb Nest because we shared it. $50. It was the area right near before breaking down, trading right around $40 at the moment. Um, so what will we do going forward? Unless we see any substantial changes, whether it be on Vires with the debt, whether it be on Neutrino with matching the peg again, we will not be entering waves. We will actually be looking to short. So stick around. Get if you're not in the Burb Nest, there's a trial link below. You can try it out for 7 days, and you can ask questions about this. Hey, tell us you joined the Nest because of this Waves video, um, and we will be updating you on everything happening around this potential big short situation. I'm not gonna call Waves a Ponzi, but they were getting very close to pumping their own bags, and that's a big red flag in crypto. So thank you for coming on. It was awesome to just break down waves. If you have any questions, bring it over to the nest. We're happy to answer your questions there. Peace. See you next time.